What up? So today we're gonna be trying to fix the car. I'm gonna try to bleed the coolant system really quick, and it's like, why is this relevant to a fitness channel? Well, first of all, this is my channel, okay? It's a mix of the things I like, the shit I'm dealing with, fitness, anime, gaming, all that stuff. But I feel like with the car, when it's starting to break down, you really gotta try to focus on perseverance, right? And the ability, or your ability, to keep trying to figure out what the hell's going on. Yeah, you can bring it to the mechanic and just give them $5,000, $10,000, whatever it may be for the head gasket, engine block. But if you can wring together enough willpower, and I don't even use willpower, enough grit to Google, YouTube, research, and read message boards on how to fix what that problem is, at least give it an honest go before you go send it into somewhere. Because maybe you can fix it and save yourself tons of money, which is what I would ideally like to do. And that's what we're going to try to do this morning. So, fingers crossed. I'm not a mechanic. I'm really just a gamer who likes to work out. But if we can alleviate the coolant problem that we currently have, that'd be sick. Let's do it. I'm just calling to see if I can book a diagnostics on the car today or tomorrow if you have space.
Yeah, no problem. What kind of car was it for?
All right, so all that shiza I was talking earlier. I'm just gonna bring it in. This car has been giving me trouble this entire summer, and it's given me trouble in the past too. I think I talked about it in another video, but we've changed out the radiator, we did the hoses, did the thermostat. I bled the system about a week ago, and I just tried to do it again this morning, but it seems like it's worse, and the bubbles are not coming out of the goddamn system, so I can't drive anywhere, really. I was supposed to go to a friend's place over this past weekend for a housewarming party, and I was really excited to go, and about 20 minutes in, the thermostat was just going straight up to hot, and I'm like, man, I cannot drive an hour and a half with this car going on hot. It would destroy like the gasket or the engine, like something would just pop. So I had to call. I'm like, all right, that's it. I have felt like this summer I have completely rescinded the things I would normally do because of the car. I gotta just bite the bullet and see what's going on with it, and either get it fixed or let it go. So we gotta figure that out. But this really, I think, is an application from fitness to just a life principle, because the discipline and the consistent attack you got to do with fitness on your nutrition and your physical strength and progressive overload and the mental growth you have to try to get, all of this stuff is a part of life. With the car, I could have just immediately have given it to a shop, but I said, hey, you know what, let me give it an honest try and do the difficult thing. And I'm really glad that I did. Not only do you learn more about your car and what's actually going on, but it's a way to go flex your fucking chops, man, to see what you got. And you know what? Sure, wasn't able to fix it and resolve it fully, but I do not regret the time put into it, and I feel like having that knowledge of what's been going on makes me more confident with whatever happens in the future with regards to this car too. But with life, sometimes you just can't take the easy route. You gotta really just take the hard way and don't always just try to brush things off. I do wish the car wasn't giving me problems, though, because, you know, it's money, and you gotta fucking spend money, and I don't want to do that, but is what it is, bro. And if there's one thing I could bring up, too, with regards to just cars and life in general, because I'm such a wise person, obviously, is just how calm things are when there's no issues, right? I've never really thought or even gave any inkling of energy towards stress or cortisol. But I think this summer is the first time I've really felt stressed. Because with this car, every time you turn it on, and I'd be trying to go somewhere, I would be thinking, is this the time this car's gonna die? Am I gonna be stranded? Is this car gonna shut down on me? And when it's like 2 in the morning, or super cold, or super hot, or you have somewhere important you're trying to drive to, this is not a good feeling, man. And it's like, bro, I know what stress feels like in this moment, because this is an external factor that I have no control over that can really mess me up in this moment. But hey, you know what? Thankfully, we didn't get stranded anywhere. Every time something did happen, got a little lucky. First time this car shut down on me and the car was smoking and overheating and everything like that, took me 4 hours to get home. And I ended up having to call a tow and all these other things. It was a stressful night. I really do attest a lot of my resilience to fitness and just the journey I've had. Man, this camera is heavy, dude. I'm trying to YouTube and shit, like hold it up with my arm and like, oh my god. But the journey that I've had in fitness, and I feel like have you guys experienced this too? It builds that resilience, man, that prefrontal cortex of doing the hard thing, and it's made me better at having the mental fortitude of not crumbling at this hardship where it's just like, okay, this is what we're doing, and you just get in there and you do it. And I've done a lot of hard jobs in my life, right? Rigs, landscaping, done construction, and even, you know, sales jobs for fintech SaaS companies, and every single time it's like you just flip that switch, you get in, you just do it. And the same thing with this car and any other problem. You gotta just, you know, reduce the time it takes for you to be like, damn, do I have to do this thing, and just get it done immediately. Am I perfect? No, there's tons of things I still procrastinate and I don't do as soon as I should, but I think I'm definitely better off now compared to if I never did any fitness. Anyway, I'm gonna put this camera down, and I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do for a workout today, because we're gonna bring this car tomorrow to the shop in the morning. So that means I can't get to the gym today because I can't drive the car there and back, because I just want to bring it into the shop and that's it. So probably gonna work out at home. Yeah. The plan for today, since we're down here in the home gym, we're gonna be doing some just simple compound movements, but still hitting upper body. I was able to do legs the other day, but today we're gonna be hitting bench, bent over rows, and then we're gonna be doing some lateral raises because I've got 35-pound dumbbells here, and we're gonna do a drop set for those, and then finish off with some arms. Now for arms, I'm thinking either, what are we gonna do for arms? Arms, I might just do a drop set. Just do some classic dumbbell curls with the 35s, drop set to the 25s, and just go really close to failure over 2 really hard sets. And then do 2 really hard sets with the dumbbells for dumbbell skull crushers as well. And just hit the drop sets for those. Classic and simple, it's gonna work. And I did this all the time growing up. So being back here, we're gonna utilize not being at the gym because our car is gonna go to the shop. And it's not really drivable right now, so we're back in the home domain. But it's gonna be dope. We're gonna get this going, and I think I'll answer a couple comments that I saw on YouTube while I'm doing this. I got something very special to show you. This is a very ancient tribal totem that we have, and growing up I used to unveil this every day to myself and really look at this as a beacon of hope and a beacon of something I want to aspire to be. And the reason for that is to also be one of the black men on this earth, blessed by also having a BBC, which it turns out I have been. Alright, let's get into it, brother.
Baby, I want you to leave, but you stay. My brain and my heart ain't the same. So will I let you in? As long as you won't do this to me again, baby. When I left my heart in your hands, you left me scarred at the glance. Baby, let's not do this again. We're just friends,
So we just finished the last set of dumbbell laterals there. Finished it off with a drop set from 35 to 25, straight to failure. Honestly, fried my shoulders, man. I feel like the weights here at home are just, they're heavier than the ones at the gym. I don't know if it's because these are all like just raw steel and not calibrated rubber, but man, I'm getting cooked tonight. So there's a question off of one of your guys' comments I wanted to just kind of talk about, and there's Grant Goliath Fitness, just 5 hours ago, he said, I was thinking of this yesterday, the process is slow, but I feel like even if I reach my goal, I won't be satisfied. It's the process that I love. And man, like, I resonate with this heavily, and I feel like this is such an important fact of just fitness, man, because like, once you hit that goal, I know I spoke about this in one of my other videos, but it's not like life just finishes. You know, whether you want to lose some fat, you want to get shredded, or get bigger, just the way human nature is, man. There's never like a quote-unquote finish line. You're never gonna hit that goal and then think, okay, that's it, I'm done. I know we naturally have just this inherent desire to grow, to progress, to expand in whatever domain that may be in. If you're someone who's into literature, reading more books, there's never just like that last book, right? You want to read more and discover more stories and discover more facts. For someone who's into geography, there's always new land to uncover, or maybe you want to go over something that you've covered previously but go more in depth. And the same thing with fitness, man. Like, the process is slow, but the process is the joy of the thing in itself, the fitness, man. And you really got to find that discipline that works for you. That's why when people, for me, and I see them and they're in CrossFit or, you know, high rocks or calisthenics, bodybuilding, running, whatever your discipline is or interest is, man, long as they're excelling, long as they are trying to progress in that realm, what more can you ask for, dude? At the end of the day, man, there's no one right way to do things, and the fact that you were willing to get to this point and to have that discovery about yourself, to say, hey, man, the process is what you got to really enjoy here, because you're right, you're going to hit that goal one day, probably sooner than later, bro, because you're a fucking gem. But then what's next? Always got to keep shooting further and striving for what that next goal is, what that next milestone may be, because that's also what's going to keep us pushing forward. And thinking about life and just death too, man, when you stop pushing for things, when your dreams end, when you just have no more aspirations to go for, bro, like that's when you become an NPC. That's when you, I don't want to say die, but that's when you don't have that spark anymore. So keep pushing, bro. You got the mindset for it, and that's amazing. Loving that process. Next one we got here is Green Hornet 8262. How do you get yourself to love pain? To look forward to pain? I can't grasp that concept. And bro, that's a great question. And I was talking to a streamer on Twitch. I was talking to a streamer on Twitch who's a friend of mine, Sony. And we were just discussing this today, just very briefly, but the prefrontal cortex, that is the part of our body that is determining how we can endure that pain or enjoy that pain. The ability to do that. So the ability to do that is a learned skill. Like, you can train yourself every day to get a bit closer, and
enjoying that pain, whatever your definition of that may be. Andrew Huberman actually talked about this. I'll find it and I'll link it in the description below for you. But it's an important thing to be aware of and to try to cultivate, because the more you avoid those hard things, even like, man, doing grocery shopping or talking to a girl or doing that hard workout, doing that report, taking care of your budget, whatever hard thing you have in your life, taking care of an assignment for school, the more you avoid it, the more you're weakening that muscle. And to strengthen it literally takes you stepping into that zone of uncomfortability willingly and consciously and doing that thing. And that's like training that prefrontal cortex and making it a little bit stronger. But you gotta keep doing it and doing it and doing it. And even if, let's say you start doing a hard thing, like for example, going into an ice bath, or let's say talking to girls, if that's hard for you, the more you do that hard thing, the less hard it becomes. So now it's not training that muscle the same way it was before, because it's gotten easier because you've done it more, if that makes sense. It's like in the gym, if I do bicep curls of 35 pounds for 2 years, it's not going to be as hard as it was at the beginning as it is 2 years later. You have to progressively overload the hard things to keep developing that prefrontal cortex. But that's how you can embrace that concept. And I think love is a tricky word with pain, because I don't know if I love pain either. You know what I mean? Like it's always uncomfortable. But I think you can learn to appreciate or love the aspect of knowing you are consciously bettering yourself in that moment and developing your character and building your character. And it's like training for a tournament or something in Dragon Ball Z. Like, you're doing this thing, you're going through this pain to get stronger, and training our prefrontal cortex and doing those hard things to make that pain, to make it easier and smoother for our body to endure and just to go through in general is massive, man. That was actually a sick question. I like that, dude.
Okay, so little update on the Car Chronicle. Just got back from the dealership right now, and car's cooked. The head gasket it's dead. Not dead, but that's what has to be repaired, and that's going to run pretty much $7,500. This is a 2006 Jeep Grand Cherokee. It's got 155,000 kilometers on it, which isn't much, but if the head gasket's gone, it has to be repaired. It's just a matter of time. So last ditch effort, because I'm not going to pay for that. I'd rather the car just, you know what I mean? I'm not going to pay for that. But what me and my dad talked about just now is that we're going to give a sealant a go. Even if I get 5 or 6 more months out of it, that's still a big positive. So hopefully that works out well, because I can drive like 30 minutes or so, and the car doesn't run to hot. The issue is the thermostat, right? The car is just overheating. That's how everything just started. I think it was April, when the radiator first went, because there was a hole in the top radiator hose. But we're gonna give this a go. I'm gonna go pick up the sealant from Canadian Tire, and tomorrow morning, when the car's cold, we're gonna put it in, and fingers crossed this gets a couple more months out of the car. It's not a permanent fix, it's very temporary, but if that does work, bada boom, bada bing. What rhymes with bada boom, bada bing? I'm gonna put your baby mama in a sling. You know what I mean? Anyway, I hope this works. I really hope it does. I don't want to buy a new car right now, and I don't want to get a used car right now, because I'd really like to just travel and not have to drop a bunch of cash on that. It's also just money in general that I'd really prefer to keep in my pocket. So let's go pick up this sealant, and yeah, from there we'll see how it goes. Probably just end it, see how it goes, and probably next video, I'll let you guys know if it worked well or not. But this has definitely been an adventure. I feel like this summer has been defined almost by the health of this car, as it has been a massive headache. But I've got my health, my family has their health, and money comes and goes. It's just one of those things you got to just deal with as it comes. And it's the same thing with fitness, just trying to find whatever route you can take to get yourself a little bit closer to where you need to go.
And with this car, if that sealant gets us a little bit, 5 or 6 more months, that's getting me closer to my ideal life of being able to travel and not buying a car when I don't want to buy the car. So hopefully that works. Like, if you gotta fast to try to be in that deficit, because that works with your day-to-day, which I've done in the past too, it's just like buying sealant for a broken head gasket, right? It might be a permanent fix, but if you can do it temporarily and it's a little bit sustainable to move you forward, then hey man, maybe it's a dub. Anyway, I appreciate all you guys. Joe Show Club. See you guys in the next video.